Deep within the wisdom of Stoicism lies a pearl of knowledge often overlooked, a secret that holds the potential to radically transform our lives: the power of conscious detachment. This concept may seem counterintuitive in a society where attachment is often mistaken for passion and commitment. However, I invite you to explore with me how detachment can become the key to a richer and more serene existence. Stoic philosophy teaches that excessive attachment to things beyond our control is the source of our anxiety and discomfort. Emotional and material detachment, on the other hand, allows us to navigate life with a balanced perspective, honoring our emotions without being enslaved by them. Does this seem impossible? Then prepare for a surprising revelation in this video. I will guide you through the less traveled paths of emotional and material detachment, unveiling practices and psychological perspectives that may seem contradictory, but are essential for emotional health and personal growth. Are you ready for a swift and profound transformation? Don't miss this unique opportunity to discover how to break free from invisible chains and build stronger, healthier emotional connections. Subscribe to the channel now, turn on the notification bell, and leave a like. Join us on this journey of self-discovery and emotional liberation. Let's embark together on this mystery. The first step on the path to detachment is, paradoxically, a step back, seeking a period of separation, not to create a void, but to gain clarity. Imagine yourself at a lively celebration with loud music and vibrant conversations all around. In such a setting, trying to discern a friend's whisper can be a real challenge. Similarly, when we are too entangled with someone or something, our emotions can become heightened, just as the noise of a party can cloud our mental clarity. Taking a step back is like moving away from that noisy environment to a calmer refuge where you can hear your own thoughts and reflect more clearly. Seneca, a philosopher of profound insight, emphasized the importance of returning to oneself. This return is not just physical but also mental and emotional. When emotions cloud our judgment, distancing ourselves allows us to observe them as one might admire clouds gliding across the sky, recognizing that they are separate entities from our essence. Detachment is not synonymous with indifference. It is a way to approach situations and our reactions objectively, as if analyzing the entire chessboard rather than just the piece in our hand. Nowadays, it's not necessary to retreat to a rural village, as the Stoics might have suggested. Sometimes, simply turning off your phone for a while, taking a walk, or sitting quietly in a room is enough. The key is to find a space where your thoughts and feelings are not drowned out by the constant noise of daily life. In these moments of tranquility, we discover the ability to make decisions not based on fleeting emotional reactions, but on logical reasoning, deep reflection, and intrinsic wisdom. This step back is your tool for transitioning to a space where you can breathe freely and see beyond the fog of the present moment. The second step in the process of detachment involves rationally reflecting on the need for distance. The decision to step away from someone is not a hasty act, but a methodical deliberation that reflects the wisdom and virtue of Stoicism. Imagine your life as a maritime expedition, where the people in your life are like the wind and currents. Some contribute to smooth sailing, while others may lead you into turbulent waters. As the captain of this ship, it is crucial to discern which winds to favor and which storms to avoid. This decision is not an escape, but a conscious choice to steer your life's trajectory in alignment with your values and personal well-being. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who transcended his status as a slave to become a sage, emphasized the importance of choosing associations that resonate with our inner being. Analyzing your relationships as mirrors allows you to see what they reflect back: serenity, growth and understanding, or uncertainty, discomfort and distress. Detachment is not an act of renunciation, but a conscious choice to preserve your integrity and morality. Stoicism does not advocate for impassive logic, but a wisdom that encourages us to consider what people add to our lives, harmony or dissonance. As you reflect on this decision, recall Epictetus's words: "It is not events that trouble us, but our thoughts about them." The choice to distance yourself is not just about the person in question, but also about your perception of their impact on your life. It may represent an exciting chapter in your growth, or a footnote that veers from your path. Ultimately, choosing distance is an effort to create a life story you are proud of, and commitment to staying true to yourself, your values, and your journey. Stoicism teaches us to value relationships that enrich our narrative and to respectfully step away from those that add no value. It's not about building a life where every person and experience is meticulously curated, but about forging a story that resonates with authenticity and meaning. The third step in this journey of detachment involves engaging in conversation with someone you trust. In moments when life feels like a puzzle with incompatible pieces, it's time to draw inspiration from Stoic wisdom. The resilience of great thinkers also highlights the importance of connections, emphasizing that having a reliable confidant is like finding an anchor in the midst of a storm. This interaction goes beyond mere venting. It brings clarity and new perspectives. It's like having a co-pilot on your life's journey, someone who helps navigate when your own sense of direction feels unclear. Seneca, with his deep understanding of human nature, valued the wisdom that comes from sharing. He saw a friend as a mirror reflecting not only our appearance, but our deepest truths. This interaction is more than a mere reflection of ourselves. It's a way to understand our trajectory. By opening up to someone, we don't just share words, we invite them into our inner universe, giving them a glimpse of our thoughts and feelings. This sharing creates a space of mutual understanding and support, where not only sympathies are exchanged, but also valuable insights. The choice of whom to trust must be carefully considered, prioritizing someone who embodies the values we cherish. This person becomes an echo of our ideas, helping us navigate our thoughts and emotions. Their role is not to solve our problems. Often simply listening is immense support. Their presence reminds us that we are not alone on this journey. By sharing your thoughts, you may discover small gems of wisdom in your confidant's words, sparks of truth that illuminate different perspectives. Stoicism teaches us that life's obstacles are faced with serenity and the support of a chosen community. Your confidant is a vital part of this community, reaffirming that strength often comes from unity. Detaching from someone or a situation does not mean abandoning all that is human. In fact, it's these human connections that provide the strength and vision needed to navigate the complex tapestry of existence. In conversations with this trusted person, which transcend casual dialogues, you find genuine bridges to clarity and anchors to navigate the ever-changing seas of life. The fourth step toward detachment involves setting boundaries for our emotions. When intense feelings dominate the emotional landscape, it's like being at the helm of a ship in a storm, where emotional waves are strong and sometimes overwhelming. Stoic teaching is not about fleeing these waves, but about learning to navigate them with skill and discernment. This means knowing when to let the waves carry us and when to firmly hold the ship's helm. Emotions are an inherent part of being human, but without clearly established boundaries, they can steer us off course. Epictetus, with his profound understanding of the human mind, reminds us that it's not the events themselves that affect us, but how we interpret them. This understanding is crucial for setting emotional boundaries, like having a gatekeeper in our mind that welcomes each visitor, our feelings, but doesn't allow them to take control of our inner space. For example, when we feel anger, we acknowledge its existence, understand its reason, but don't let it dominate our actions or feelings. Setting emotional boundaries is about dialoguing with our emotions, understanding their role, and guiding them so they don't overshadow our logic. In practice, setting these boundaries might mean allocating a specific time to feel a given emotion. We might say, "In this moment I allow myself to feel this frustration, but afterward I will focus on solutions." This doesn't involve denying feelings but managing their influence on us. It's a balancing act, akin to a tightrope walker who acknowledges the danger, but remains focused on the rope. By doing so, we honor our emotions without becoming their hostages. We feel, understand, and then redirect toward a state of harmony and reason. This process is not about repressing emotions, but about moderating and managing them. The fifth and crucial step in the process of detachment is to carefully evaluate the potential consequences of this separation. When we stand at the crossroads of detachment, it's vital to pause and examine each possible path. Stoicism doesn't encourage impulsive decisions. On the contrary, it emphasizes the need for deep reflection. Imagine each path as a potential future, each turn leading to different outcomes. What awaits you on the path of detachment? Would it bring growth, serenity, and a stronger sense of identity, or regret and nostalgia for what was left behind? This exercise in foresight is not about predicting the future with precision, but about preparing prudently. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor who faced the burden of governing a vast empire, used reflection on the past to guide his expectations for the future, reasoning with the Stoic approach of using past experiences as a compass for future decisions. Think of times when you distanced yourself and evaluate the outcomes. Did detachment bring clarity and tranquility, or did it result in isolation and regret? Use these reflections as a map, learning from past lessons to better navigate the future. Moreover, considering the impact of your decision on others is essential. Stoicism guides us to balance our personal needs with the common good. As you detach, ask yourself if this action promotes your personal growth and contributes positively to others' lives, or conversely, could cause harm or misunderstandings. This step goes beyond self-centered concern. It's about aligning your well-being with the broader context in which we are embedded. It's like walking carefully through a garden, ensuring your steps foster flourishing rather than harming the plants. Detachment, from a Stoic perspective, is an exercise in prudent wisdom, a carefully considered decision that accounts for not only the self, but also the intricate web of relationships in which we are intertwined. The sixth step in the journey of detachment is to grant yourself a break from social media. Imagine your mind as a placid lake. Now picture social media as raindrops constantly disturbing its calm surface. Each update, notification, and comparison is a drop that disrupts the lake's serenity. This philosophy, rooted in times long before the digital age, offers timeless wisdom for dealing with such distractions. Seneca, reflecting on the brevity of life, might have considered social media a modern source of countless and unnecessary distractions, especially in the process of detachment. This step is about reclaiming our time and attention by intentionally choosing where to direct our precious energy. In the realm of social media, our attention is the most coveted asset. By stepping away, we're not just escaping a digital deluge, but creating space for our mind to breathe and reflect. It's like closing the curtains to muffle the noise of a busy street. The constant clamor persists, but for a moment it ceases to be our focus. You find yourself in a peaceful environment conducive to reflection and understanding. Taking a break from social media isn't an escape, but an act of self-care, a discernment of what strengthens us and what drains us. During this pause, notice the transformation in your mental state. A sense of calm, presence, and heightened awareness of your own thoughts and emotions. This awareness is the essence of Stoicism, recognizing what is within our control and letting go of what isn't. Understand that while we cannot stop the rain, we can choose to seek shelter and appreciate the sound of the drops without getting wet. Pausing social media use may feel like jumping off a moving train, but it's in the stillness that we find clarity. When you temporarily step away from the digital world, recall Seneca's words and use this time for enriching activities like reading, walking, journaling, or pursuing hobbies that nourish your mind. This pause is a chance to reconnect with yourself, a moment to rediscover your essence in the silence, away from the collective tumult. The seventh step in the journey of detachment is an invitation to deliberately focus on your core needs. As we progress on this path, it's essential to turn our attention to the heart of our being. Here, we find the core of Stoicism, focusing on what truly matters for our inner growth and well-being. This involves shedding the superfluous, noise, and trivialities to cultivate what genuinely nourishes the soul. Look beyond material needs, delving deeper into aspects like emotional support, moral integrity, and personal development. Visualize your life as a garden. What are the crucial elements for your flourishing? Just as sunlight and water are vital for plants, identify what is indispensable for your emotional and spiritual growth. Epictetus, who was born and thrived amidst adversity, deeply understood the importance of focusing on what is essential. His teachings encourage us to distinguish between the necessary and the superfluous. True wealth, according to Epictetus, lies not in possessing many things, but in having few needs. Apply this philosophy to your emotional life by reflecting on what is necessary to feel fulfilled, stable, and at peace. Remember that often, less is more. In a world filled with choices and distractions, finding satisfaction in simplicity and depth involves reflecting on what brings true happiness and peace. In practice, this might mean dedicating time to what brings you genuine joy, whether in solitude, meaningful conversations, practicing a hobby, or other activities that nourish your mind. Identifying and prioritizing these essential needs is like packing for a journey, taking only what adds value to your experience. This intentional focus facilitates detachment from what is unnecessary, whether people or situations that don't align with your core needs. By centering your life around these essentials, you establish a solid foundation of stability and contentment. This is not a one-time exercise but an ongoing process, a constant return to what truly matters. As you progress through life, continue to revisit your core needs, adapting and realigning them as you grow and transform. This focus is your compass, guiding you through life's complexities with clarity and purpose, living intentionally rather than merely existing at the heart of Stoicism. If you appreciate this, don't forget to leave a comment to boost engagement with our content. If you have nothing to say, simply write, "Gratitude is the key," and mention today's date. The 8th step, celebrating gratitude and embracing the present, represents a pivotal turning point in our journey toward detachment. Here, we delve deeply into the virtue of gratitude, which stands out as a central pillar of Stoicism. This step involves a mindful and appreciative look at what we have now, identifying the blessings and valuable lessons hidden in each of our experiences. Practicing gratitude goes beyond simply giving thanks for life's joys. It encompasses the ability to value the learning that comes from difficult moments. By cultivating a grateful mind, we can view the world and our experiences from an entirely new perspective. Obstacles transform into stepping stones that lead to personal growth and character strengthening. This paradigm shift redirects our focus from the perceived lacks in our lives to a profound appreciation of the blessings we possess. The consistent practice of counting our blessings, whether meaningful encounters, the contemplation of natural beauty, or moments of serenity and deep reflection, strengthens our ability to live in the present with fullness and awareness, enhancing our emotional resilience. This practice can be likened to weaving a rich tapestry of experiences, where each thread of gratitude adds color and texture to the grand mosaic of our existence. This step invites us to celebrate life in its entirety, embracing each experience as a precious opportunity for learning and personal enrichment. By integrating gratitude into our journey of detachment, we open the doors to a deeper connection with the present moment and a profound understanding of life's meaning. It's as if we're exploring a hidden treasure, where the wealth lies not only in the things we possess, but also in the lessons we draw from our experiences. I invite you to embrace this 8th step with enthusiasm and curiosity, as it offers the key to a fuller and more meaningful life. The 9th step is promoting flexibility and the willingness to change. In this crucial stage of the detachment journey, we are challenged to accept not only the transience of all things, but also the unpredictability of the world around us. Life is a constant flux of events, some of which are beyond our control. However, what we can master is our attitude and response to these events. Flexibility of mind in this context is not merely a passive response to change, but an active stance of adaptation. This means being ready to let go of old conceptions and attachments when necessary, and to embrace the unknown with courage. It's like navigating a turbulent river, constantly adjusting our course as the currents carry us. This doesn't mean abandoning our values and principles, but finding flexible ways to apply them in different situations. Practicing flexibility also allows us to develop emotional resilience. By accepting change as a natural part of life, we reduce the resistance and suffering that often accompany the struggle against the inevitable. Instead, we learn to flow with the current, transforming challenges into opportunities for growth. Moreover, flexibility empowers us to see the positive potential even in the most adverse situations. This doesn't mean ignoring suffering or denying difficulty, but finding ways to learn from these experiences and grow as individuals. Ultimately, the 9th step invites us to dance with life, to embrace its changes and twists with grace and humility. It reminds us that life is a journey of continuous discovery, and our ability to adapt and learn is what allows us to thrive despite uncertainty. By adopting flexibility as a fundamental principle in our quest for detachment, we prepare ourselves for a richer, more meaningful, and resilient life. The 10th step is practicing empathy and sharing. In this stage of the detachment journey, we focus our attention on developing empathy and the practice of sharing. Inspired by Stoic principles, we recognize the importance of connecting deeply with others and contributing positively to their lives. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. In this step, we learn to listen attentively, put ourselves in others' shoes, and recognize their perspectives and emotions. This allows us to build more meaningful connections with those around us, creating relationships based on understanding and solidarity. Sharing, on the other hand, involves actively contributing to others' well-being, whether through emotional support or concrete actions. By practicing sharing, we not only enrich others' lives, but also strengthen our own sense of purpose and fulfillment. In this step, it's crucial to remember that detachment doesn't mean withdrawing from human relationships, but transforming them into more meaningful connections. Empathy and sharing are like bridges that connect us to others in a deep and authentic way. By practicing empathy and sharing, we contribute to a more compassionate and supportive world, aligning our actions with the Stoic values of virtue and benevolence. This enables us to live a fulfilling life where detachment doesn't make us indifferent, but rather more aware and connected as human beings. The 11th step is nourishing your mind and body. In this stage of the detachment journey, we direct our attention to caring for our mind and body. This step is essential for maintaining emotional and physical balance as we navigate life's complexities. We begin with caring for the mind through mindfulness and self-reflection. Mindfulness involves being present in the moment, observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment. This helps us develop mental clarity and reduce stress. Self-reflection, on the other hand, allows us to understand our patterns of thought and behavior, identifying areas where we can grow and improve. Additionally, we dedicate time to nourishing the mind through reading, learning, and practicing creative skills. This expands our knowledge, stimulates our creativity, and keeps our mind agile and curious. As for caring for the body, we value the importance of a healthy diet, regular exercise, and adequate rest. The body is the vehicle that allows us to experience the world, and caring for it is fundamental to a balanced life. This step reminds us that detachment is not just about freeing ourselves from worries and stress, but also about investing in our physical and mental well-being. By nourishing our mind and body, we are better prepared to face life's challenges with resilience and serenity, aligning with the Stoic principles of virtue and wisdom. This step is a reminder that self-care is an essential part of the detachment journey. As we undertake the path of detachment, whether from the complications of people or situations, we encounter a wealth of profound insights and practical advice in the lessons of Stoicism. This ancient philosophy encourages us to step back, carefully reflect on the reasons for detachment, engage in enlightening dialogues, set boundaries for our emotional reactions, and consider the consequences of our choices. By stepping away from incessant external influences, such as those from social media, and focusing on our essential needs, our actions align with Stoic principles. Stoicism, with its timeless wisdom, teaches us that detachment is not synonymous with emotional insensitivity. On the contrary, it is the path to achieving inner tranquility and resilience as we navigate complex human relationships and life's challenges. Stoic principles shine like a beacon, offering inspiration and guidance toward a life enriched by virtue, wisdom, and emotional strength. This philosophy equips us not only to face life's vicissitudes with greater serenity, but also to cultivate deeper and more meaningful relationships with ourselves and others. Thus, Stoicism proves to be a valuable guide on the path to a more conscious and balanced life. If you enjoyed this, subscribe, leave a like and comment. Always be grateful.